Hi, everyone. This is Karthik. So today we'll discuss on how to create an email and how to draft an email while sharing the profile. Also, we'll be going through how to send an email in your customer places or client places in your company. What is the CC? What is this BCC? When to use it? When to do a reply? When to do a reply all? Also on how to add a member to the email chain, how to delete an email member from the email chain. So that all the things and what to forward, what not to forward, and this all the things we'll be discussing on this session. So here we'll start with how to first create an email. Before that, let us understand what is the importance of this email and everything. So as I told you, this is the agenda. We are going to go through it. So why sending an email is very, very important. How to create an email ID. What mistakes will be done while sending an email. What are the emailing format you have to do it when you are sending an email. How to rename your file when you are sending any attachment. So CC, BCC, reply all and forward messages, when to use and everything we will discuss here. Now, what is email? Email means electronic mail. Everyone knows that. So when you're sending an email, right, to anybody, right? For example, let us take it as a recruiter over here. So when you send any mobile for a job search, right, it should create the impression to the recruiter that the email whatever you send should be like wow message, right? So it's not like lot of impressions you are sending, so there should be no mistakes in the email, correctly formatted way you're sending the email, and everything that should be there in the email when you're sending to the recruiter. So once recruiter opens your email, you will be they'll see that wow, what a beautiful composition of this email, and they will need to call you, right? So no need of sending with all the poetry and everything over here. So be professional when you're sending an email. This shows the professional way of sending an email. That is what the impressions you will be creating with the recruiter when you're sending an email. And your email only tells you that whether you have how much you have worked, right? What knowledge you are having and everything. Also, this email is a documented proof, right? Suppose whatever you discuss, right, with your customers, with your colleagues, with your any other company, right? That should be drafted in an email and sent like as discussed. These are the points, key points we have discussed and everything. So this is like a documentary where suppose if you're not just listening to somebody and not dropping an email, or if you're telling something and not dropping an email, there won't be any proof, right? There won't be any proof to talk about it. So this email acts as a proof of document as well when you're talking. Suppose, let us take an example. Let us take an engineer and a test lead example. Now, engineer finds a defects and he creates a defect ticket in the defect tracking tool. And while sending an daily status report, he will add that this is what I have done. This is what the defect I have found. These are the tickets has been logged. Now, tomorrow, if you have created the issue and suppose if you have created the issue, right, but you have not mentioned anything in the daily status, team lead can take this opportunity that is found by him or he helped you to find this defect like that. There are chances in the industry to take this. So always remember when you're sending the data daily status, also this email is very, very important here. So as I was telling, it helps streamlining the communication. Like you can make your request and information clear and very concise over there. So it helps to communication. It is used for a communication in business to business, business to customer, business to client, employee to employee like that. It helps in streamlining the customer. As I was telling, it plays an important role in professional workspace, as well as you will be knowing, you will be understanding the rules of email etiquettes, how to use that in the proper use, okay, in this session. So let us go for the next thing, right? How to create an email ID, right? Suppose you are searching for a job, you're searching for a job, and you are sending an email to the recruiter, or to your friend, or to your relative's friend, or to relatives who are having their business, owning their business, or brother, or any references if you are having, right? You will be sending an email. Now, assume I am telling to one of the member that I need to, I'm having a opening, please send me your resume. You will just send an email, right, from your having, which you have created in the college days. Assume you are having, in your college they are calling you are a very innovative guy, man. You are very innovative, you're having a lot of innovations in your mind and everything. So, oh, Rahul is having a lot of innovative. So Rahul innovative guy at gmail.com, right? So in the first name also it will be innovative, and last name it will be Rahul. Then you're sending an email that innovative guy dot at gmail.com. The email goes like innovative has sent an email. But here it will not mention as Rahul sent an email because the first name you have given as innovative, right? So the creation of email ID only if it goes wrong. So the person receiving those email will not recognize you who is sending an email, right? So please make sure that you are keeping your email ID properly and your first name and the last name properly when creating an email. Now, let us discuss what are the mistakes which we do, right? When you're creating an email ID, right? So let us go into this picture here. Like, so there is one person by name Peter was born over here, but nurses telling Peter is already taken. You can try with any of the number next to the Peter name, right? Peter was born in 2016. Peter 2016. Peter was born in right 37th week or something like that. 375. There it has been kept, right? So if you don't get an email ID, proper email ID, so you will go with your date of birth. You will go with your phone number, you will go with your son, you will go with your nicknames, right? You will go with the people who calls you. I was telling about Travel Innovative, right? So like this you will create an email ID, and that email ID doesn't provide you a good value to you when you're sending to any of the professional services. So let us see how the username which you should not keep. Your mummy will call you as a sweetie, right? Sweetie rocks, you will keep it, right? Rock star, right? Papicino, right? Rajinovative to be. These are the like the usernames some people have been kept, right? And we have seen lot of resumes coming to us like this only, right? So never keep your username like this. So keep your username with your first name and the last name properly. For example, Raja Lakshmi, Raja Lakshmi, right? Raj Lakshmi should be proper, right? For example, Aniket Raj, Aniket, and the last name should be Raj. The username should be very, very neat and clear so that the receiver of the email, right, in the professional end, should recognize your name that this fellow has sent an email. Otherwise, right, we or the professional people, we don't remember your names when you're sending this type of email with the users. So never keep this type of usernames in your email ID. If it is there, Google is having a lot of in the profile settings. Please go and change it today itself to your proper first name and the last name. So let us see what are the email IDs. You should not keep it like this, right? So sweetie.beauty, right? Rocky Bocky, right? These are all like pet names, right? Where somebody is calling you Chintu, somebody is calling you Puppy in your family, will keep Puppy Chintu at domain.com. And I was talking about Rahul.innovative guy, innovations, right? Superman, you like Superman, right? You like Avengers, right? So Raj.avengers at domain.com, right? And your father calls you as Chinny only, then you're having a good name. So you'll keep it as Chinny love you at gmail.com or .com, something like that. And you keep mobile numbers with your name, right? Which is very, very not good at all, right? And I was talking about Superman, Batman, Iron Man, like, and James Bond, like that, right? So these are the some of the email IDs you should never keep it. So what type of email IDs you have to keep it, right? So let us before that, right? We how it looks into the recruiters. Let us see. So now recruiter, if you send an email with the Sweetie Rocks, right? Sweetie is the first name, Rocks is the last name, right? So this is how the email will be triggered to the recruiter. Sweetie Rocks, you can see here, right? Sweetie Rocks as came here, right? Sweetie Rocks, right? And right, so like this, the names will be displayed. So always remember, never keep your first name and last name something which has been called in your by your parents, by your hubby, or by your wife, right? Whatever it may be, right? So never keep this type of emails, username and passwords, email and sorry, username, first name and the last name. So Sweetie becomes the first name, Rocks become the last name. So always keep it properly when you are sending in, creating an email. So this is how it looks. We have received an email from Sweetie Rocks. So dear Sir, my mom, with reference to the above, finally, like, you are sending a body over here, right? So we'll come to about this body later on in our email when it is being created. So like this, never create an email IDs in your. So what are the email IDs you can create it, right? Right? So username always should be your first name and last name or an initial. Okay, for example, I've given, right, Karthik last name and Karthik C and S, right? Like this, you can keep your email ID. So let us see some of the combinations where you can use it. So these are some of the combinations you can use it when you're creating any of the email, so that, right, you can easily create it, or you can use your professions, right? Like this, you can use a professional, and you can use a native also, but not recommended, right? So these are the some of the combinations you can use it when you're creating an email ID, right? So right now, I was just talking about this. Next we'll go with the what is this subject line, right? Why you have to create a proper subject line, right? Once you create an email ID, right, you have to send an email, right, to somebody, right? So for that, the first thing it will ask is for the subject line, right? For what purpose you are sending this email, right? So always remember, right, when you are sending a subject line, okay, you should not mention entire thing in the subject only, right? So subject talks about the scenario, why you are sending this email, on what topic you are sending an email, and what is this email is about, right? But you are not telling actually what actually you are mentioning. For example, now your HR sends an email for asking for an email updation from your end. Now, email HR will send email updation needed. That's it. There is a subject line, right? So then you will send a compose, then you will go to the body of the email, then you'll type the body in the body, right? This is to inform you that this we need your email, right, to update in our database, the new email to update your database, personal email to update in your database, please send it out to this email ID by with before on or before this particular date. Thanks and regards, the HR of the particular company. So when you're sending any of these resumes also, right? Now your friend reference, right? Right? Send me an, we have an opening, send me your resume, right? So what you will do, wait, I'll send immediately. You will compose, take his email ID, attach the resume, send it without the subject, right? So without entering the subject, this is how happens. What happens is, see, without subject, right, you will get no subject, right? No subject. See, you can see I have got so many emails, right? No subject, right? Here also no subject, right? So without a subject, if you send an email, then it's not a good one, right? So what are the things you can send it? Like, see here, some of the resumes, like my resume, you will send it, right? So this is a bad way, right? Right? Sending in greetings in the resume, this is also a bad way, right? This is okay one, this is also okay one, right? So when you're sending, see, you're also this is okay one, but here also it's wrong only. You're not mentioning what you are attaching, right? Resume, what you are attaching, right? Only you are mentioning the year of experience, right? But what it is actually, right? So you are missing out the resume over here, right? So this is also wrong over here. So, right? So never ever send an email without a subject, right? So subjects are very, very important. What are the subjects you can put it? So subject line should be in the format on what skill set you're applying, right? For example, if you're applying for a testing requirement, right? Your name underscore, what is the subject line, the software test engineer underscore, your year of experience, you can mention in the subject line so that recruiter will get to know that particular member, right? Karte is a software test engineer applying for this role. Otherwise, right, if you send a resume for what positions, right, recruiter should go inside the resume, look into the resume, or see the all the points. Oh, this candidate has applied for software testing, so this resume is for software testing. So always remember, never make the recruiters like to do this type of jobs, because they are in the strong lines, right, where so many profiles will be dumped to their profiles, and looking into every profiles and understanding what skill set for which you are applying, right? So it takes a lot of time consuming for them. So instead, if you mention briefly in the subject line, what is this mail for, so that the recruiter will get a very easy idea that this particular resume is for this particular skill set, so they can easily map to those skill set. So recruiters will be having a lot of emails coming in, right? So out of 100, right, almost 70% to 80% will be like this type of emails only they'll be getting it. So please don't make them, right, to get inside the your profile, understand them, because they comes from non-technical as well. Whatever the JD is there, based on that they look into that. But whatever the skill set you are having, please mention it in the subject line properly, then only you send a resume. So subject line is very, very important. Never use the capital letters, right, in the or symbols, dashes unnecessary. Usually capital letters, if you send it, right, it is like shouting at somebody, right? It's shouting at somebody. So never use that one. And some dashes, unnecessary symbols and everything may go to their spam, right? Go to their spam. So never use the symbols or something like that unnecessarily, right? So you can use underscore, hyphen, pipeline, you can use it. Apart from that, nothing, you should not use the symbols, right? And simply putting all the dashes, underscore, 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 underscore doesn't also work out. So avoid more putting symbols in the subject line, and never request anybody in the subject line. Please, sir, I am in trouble, job needed. Right? I'll show you so many examples going forward. Right? I have got so many resumes, right, from so many people, right? So I am having very trouble. So not only here in email, people are sending lot of requests, right, in the LinkedIn as well, right? They're updating the post, right? I got laid off, okay, like each and everything, right? So many things they will write it down. See, some may be genuine, some may be, some may have done, right, purposefully, so we cannot identify that one. So because of the previous experience and everything, based on how we receive, we will conclude that person whether it's an purposefully or genuine, will not be getting to know about it. So please don't request in the subject lines, right? Help me please, urgent requirement, trouble, family trouble, like that, never mention in the subject line. So never keep more than 50 characters in the subject line. So try to bond in small, so that the subject line will be clear and crispy when you're sending the subject lines. So what are the bad subject lines? Simply sending my resume, right? Updating nothing. See, I was talking about the dashes, so many underscores and everything. Just sending us resume. So bad requesting about the requesting for the help in the subject line. So these are the things, please do not do it. Using lot of symbols like this, hashtags like this, never use it. Lot of symbols, don't use it, right? And if you are having a less percentage in the academics, also please don't mention your percentage. Don't mention your percentage in the subject. So what are the good subject lines, right? So like this, you can mention it. So having right, or what is the year of experience and your what skill set you are having, right? So like this, you can mention it, no problem, right? There are some other ways, right? If it feels good, you can add it out. Okay, this is how it looks when you send an email to a recruiter. Your name, your experience, and what's your what skill set you are applying for, you will be getting to know. Suppose in some companies there will be something called as the JD, right? So there will be JD and the JD number will be given to you, right? So for example, if you want for requirement, they'll be mentioning as JD 007, mention it in your subject line. So what then, this will be the priority. You can mention your, you can mention like this, keep one dash and JD 007, so that recruiter will also get to know for which requirement you are applying for. Otherwise, this will be very difficult when you are sending any mail without a good subject line. It will be very difficult for the recruiters to find out for what JD you mentioned and everything. If there is a JD number, please specify the JD number over there. So what are the things you have to be remember in your mind is, right? Subject line will give the recipient an overview of the content of an email, right? So the summary of your email in short, right? Please don't put it in detail in the subject line only. Mentioning the subject line in capital letters, right? In situations like emails, essays, etc., means shouting at them. So please do not use the capital letters, right? Use sentence case. Sentence case means first letter will be the capital letter only. Then, so some for example, if there is any keyword mentioned JD, we are talking about JD 007, right? So that you can mention the capitals, otherwise it's completely not necessary to use the capitals here. So don't cross more than 50 words, 50 characters, right? Try to finish between 8 to 10 characters only in the subject line. More subject line may find, I'll show you how it looks and everything. So please do not send it like this. Okay, and never ever send an email without writing a subject. Now, so let us understand, right, what is true, what is CC, and what is BCC. To means to whom you are sending it. CC means carbon copy, which is nothing but, suppose you are having a lead and a manager, you are sending an email to the lead by keeping one copy to the manager as well. So that is called as carbon copy, right? To and carbon copy. BCC means blind carbon copy. Suppose if you want to send an email to multiple people at a shot, one email. Suppose now Christmas is coming, New Year, everything is there. You want to send an email to most of the clients, right? Or most of the customers, or most of your friends, right? So at that time you can use BCC. So it will go as an individual copy to them. So to whom you have sent will not be showcased when you're sending in the BCC part. That is called blind carbon copy. So when to use it? So if there is an in a hierarchy, right, in the emails, then you have to first person to mention, you have to keep it to 2. So above them, you can keep it as CC. Suppose if you want to tell somebody some work, right? So you can keep them to the 2 and CC to your manager or lead that this particular person has been assigned with particular work or anything. So like this, you can use the 2 and CC in an email. Blind carbon copy, you will be using only if you are sending a mass mail, or if you want to hide anybody in an email. For example, uh, I am one of the customer, I'm having customer 2 as well, but customer 2 doesn't want me to be in the loop at the time. You can keep it as a BCC, so that you will never get to know that you have sent an email, one copy to me as well as a reference. So BCC plays a role only in the mass mails or in any of the emails like this, whatever the scenario I told. But most of the time we'll not use BCC. Apart from that, we'll be using for 2 and CC only. 2 means to whom you are sending, CC means carbon copy to you, to whom you are marking it again, right? So this is about the 2 CCC and BCC. So when it comes to email body, right? So first thing is, don't forget to greet, right? The greeting is very, very important. So hi, hello, right? That is what you have to greet it when you're sending an email. Always use names while sending an email. Most of them, what they will do is, they will not use the names as well. Dear sir slash madam, they'll mention it, right? Dear sir or madam, they'll mention it. Though you are sending to one particular person, right? You are sending a person to, the person name is Akash, for example, right? Still, in the body, right? Dear madam slash sir will be there, or dear sir or slash madam will be there. You will never change it. Akash is a boy, right? It's gender, right? So dear sir, right? Like that will send. Always remember, when it comes to professional, so sir or madam doesn't work out over here in an email. So when you're sending directly, you can send dear and just specify the name of his first name, right? If you go for a US or something, they'll use the last names, right? For a Adam Joy, right? They'll mention as Hi Joy, right? So like that. So in India, it's the first name, we'll be calling it Hi Adam. You can mention it, comma, right? So when you're sending an email, if you're having any attachment, mention about attachment. Please find the attach the resume for your reference. Right, please let me know the updates regarding the next steps, and the below are the following details of my company name, current CTC, expected CTC, notice period. Thanks and regards, your name with your phone number, right? That all the things should be mentioned in the email body. I'll show you practically how you know to send an email in the body, right? So don't use colloquialisms like telling in wanna, why hall, right? Uh, Using a shortcuts, SMS languages, right? Like this, never use it in an email body. Never use emojis, right? Most of the more and more emojis will find it may go to the spam as well, and most of the people don't like it, right? So please avoid using the emojis over here. Never complain on someone over an email. It's very very important, right? So right, so complaining means, for example, you're sending an email to somebody, right? To somebody, and you're marking CC to somebody, right? And never, you are not supposed to complain in an email body those who are in the emails, right? So it will become a documentary. As I told you, email is a proof of documentary, so it will stay back as a document only. Never complain about anyone, right? When you're sending it an email that this work has not been done, this is you is the responsible. So always talk in the calls, right? Then as discussed, following other things has been done, then send an email. So never complain it, right? And always use signature with phone number. Signature means not your signature what how you write it in the checkbooks or something like that, or any agreements. Just thanks and regards, your name, phone number, if possible designation and phone number. LinkedIn ID, you can mention it as it is becomes to professional. So these are the things you can use it. So for some of the example, one of the email, right, examples here: position name, experience, skill set, greeting of the day, total experience, notice period, thank you, your full name and your phone number. This is how it should be mentioned. There is no sir or madam here, right? So you are sending to ABC, hi ABC only you are sending it, right? If you're sending to me, hi Karthik, you can mention. Suppose if he's a senior person, right? Suppose if he's a senior person in the organization, then you can use hello ABC sir, hi ABC sir, greetings for the day, right? So you can mention that one, no problem in that one. But if this is not a senior person, just mention as an ABC by using this first name. Whatever the name you are calling, you need to call them. And please check their spellings when you're sending it. Some people will feel bad when you do any mistakes in when you send an with the name also, if you do any mistakes in the email also. And please see the grammars, each and everything when sending an email. Don't blindly copy from one email to other copy. Use your ethics, right? Use your skill sets when you're sending an email properly. When you're documenting any email, have patience. See in other angle also, whether it hurts them or it will convey a message or it will convey as a request. Check with that, then only send an email. Otherwise, as I told you, this email will be as documented. It may hurt to other person, or it will keep as a document on its right. And by using this document, they can keep it as a proof as well. So that's why I told, don't scold anybody in the email, don't complain about anybody in the email. So it will create as a documentary. In most of the time, right, attaching the name. Now you have composed an email, but most of them will send click on the send button. In urgency, you will never attach the email. So please check once whether you have attached the email, attachment has been done or not. So we'll see what are the bad types of attachment okay, when you're sending a profile to NFT member, and how you can rename the profile and send it out, we'll see. So you can see, right, when you're sending an attachment, right? So first thing you can see is, see, in your resume or in your profile, the properly you should mention what is the skill set, what's the year of experience, right? You should mention it. So never ever send a message, send an send any file like this without having any content, like curriculum vitae, latest resume, my resume, right? And copying and pasting the resume, sending the updated version like that. So do not send it. You can maintain the version, but not in this way, right? Not in this way. You can mention Arish, resume underscore Arish K underscore 1.2. You can send it 1.3. You can send it, no problem, right? You can maintain the version, but not like this, right? So these are the things you need to avoid. So you need to rename your name. Is don't keep it as your name only. You need to mention, for example, if your name is Akash underscore manual mobile and API underscore year of experience, you can mention it 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 2 years 2 months, like this. You can mention it. You can mention the skill set and mention it. Now right, like this you can mention. See, in the subject line you are mentioning about your name, year of experience and everything. In year also, document also you're mentioning everything. And in a body you're mentioning the your name and phone number. Suppose if the attachment has been missed, recruiter will still call you because of your phone number mentioned, and they will only tell you that your attachment has been missed, or they may reply to you by telling that the attachment has been missing, please send it the attachment, right? So then apologize and send an attachment again, right? See, apologize means not only if you do a mistake, nothing like that. It's to build a relationship. So don't worry about that one. Apologizing, nothing happens when you do it, right? And do not unnecessarily create lot of information emails, right? Because most of the people doesn't like to read so much of emails until it is in the way of escalations or any documentary part, something like that. So, right, so please make sure that unnecessary don't send. I'm about yourself, like I'll show you so many examples, right? I am from Bellary. I'm working and I've done my degree and done. I've done my degree here. I've done my graduations in this college, a PU in this college, SSLC in this college, 10th in this college. So I live with my parents and everything. Don't mention the body. So what purpose you're sending a resume? So for that purpose, please mention the resume. If there is a JD, please mention the JD name. Then only you send the resume, right? So, and also, right, if your JD doesn't matches your profile, please do not send it. Again, it will affect the recruiter. So please do not send it like that, right? So it's not like that, right? Every opportunity you need to grab it, right? Some people are doing like this. They'll mention all the skill set in the resume, just send it out. But when we ask the questions, they will not be able to answer on those particular skill set. Only for the resume shortlisting, the people are doing it. Please do not do that one as well, right? And also, if there is no relevant profile, if suppose you are having manual and API skill set as an experience or a knowledge, but the requirement is for on Java Selenium with automation API, please do not send your resume, right, for that automation purpose, right? So what recruiter will do, they'll open the resume, they'll screen your resume, they'll understand this is not a relevant resume, and they may ignore it again, right? Then you follow up, what happened to my resume still, right? Please read the JD properly, right? See, it's a competitive word, we understand it, but think about the recruiter also once, right, when you're sending any of the attachments. So when you're sending any of the emails like this. So never ever see, it's their work also, right? They will also want to live with their family. Suppose if you're sending a lot of this type of message emails only, what will happen? The entire day will be wasted by just seeing the unrelevant profiles only, and they may have to be out of the office as well, right? So and their family will look after it, right? So never do this type of things. We have seen a lot of resumes like that. If I post it on Java Selenium, and rest assured I'll get manual resume, experience also, fresher also. Please do not send it like that. When you're sending it, only if it is a relevant skill set, then only you send it, so that the competition will be very less, right? For the recruiter also to analyze and call you back, right? So why so many people are asking, right, in my LinkedIn also, why I'm not getting a call, right? My students, right, my old students are asking why I'm not getting the call, right? uh, yes, because of this reasons you may not be getting the call, right? So one of the reason, this is one of the reason you may not be getting the call, because other people are sending unrelevant profiles, and the recruiters are getting frustrated because of unrelated profiles, and they may miss out your profile in the loop line as well. So always, that's why the subject line and the file name should be properly done and sent to the recruiter when you're sending. Otherwise, this all the things will happen. So please avoid this type of filing names when you're sending it. So please upgrade on your filing. Also, if your name is very big, please make it as first name. Your name is first name only. Don't mention all the first name, last name, middle name, and everything in your resume. So keep it short, right, as much as possible, right? Now, most of the people, right, how they apply the resumes also, right? They have sent for some recruiter, right? They have sent it for some recruiter, and they will send that email, go to the sent items, forward it, and they'll put our ID and send it. And they will see how they have mentioned, please find that. There's no, nothing is there. So it's a forwarded message. Also, I'll get to know that he has sent an email to this ID, sorry, this ID, from this ID. He has sent it to, is already sending the same resume is forwarded to me as well. So never do this, right? So if you want to forward something, right, I'll teach you how to do it, right? It's very easy to do it. So if you want to forward, just you want to remove some matters over there, then you need to send it. So please see, it's your job, right? So if you are not uh, taking the time to just compose an email and send it, then how much is, and you can see the subject line also here, right? So what is the bad subject line? This is the bad subject line. It has been mentioned only curriculum vitae, they have mentioned it. So please do not forward this type of emails. I'll show you what will happen and how it affects it, right? So to the recruiter also, all on, they will also get to know that you have been applying for different companies as well. And right, if you got opportunity there, you may go there. So they will not call you. So never send a forward emails from the sent items for your urgent purpose, right? So compose it properly and send a new email. Every email, my suggestion is to compose an email, send it. Compose an email, send it. Now, coming to reply and reply all, what do you mean by reply? Suppose if anybody is sending you an email by keeping a lot of people in the CC, and you are having some doubts, right? You cannot reply all. You can ask by replying, only reply what you wanted actually, right? So if you, for the sender, you will be replying it. Suppose if you want to reply it to all, then you use reply all, right? So means the reply will go to the sender also, and also the people who are in CC also, it will go the reply and reply all, right? Suppose now you want to add any member, right? You want to add any member, right? So in the mail thread, or you want to add members with attachment, right, in the present email, to remove any member, to edit the subject line, maintaining the decorum, right? So this are all the things we'll see. So let us talk about the decorum. Decorum is very, very important. Decorum means the behavior, right? When you're sending an email, there should be good behavior when you're sending it. You cannot order someone to do something in an email, right? So because all are having a respectful respect on each and everyone, you should respect it in an email, right? You can call and tell, say this is the task you have to complete today, right? So you need to go with a request, not with the order, right? So there are so many people who doesn't know how to send an email. They simply send an email. So decorum is very, very important. So please maintain the behavior when you're sending an email, right? So we'll see how to what to do from this forward emails, how you can use it, what to reply, what how reply works, what reply all works, each and everything we'll see in this next video, right? So uh, in this session, now we'll see how we can showcase, right? So see here, I got one resume here with the subject line is good, right? So okay, with the email ID, okay with this first name and the last name, right? November 18th, I received this email, right? Now, two, right? See here, in the two only, he has kept all the members here. In the two only, he has kept all the members. So I can get to know about all the HR companies, HR people who is hiring each and everything, right? From his email, right? See, this has been sent for different companies, right? So hello hall, see here, he has mentioned hello hall, two in the two only. So what I feel with this experiences, he is having a good experience, he has done with a good naming also, but see, this is what he has went off, right? So by using this, any of the HR also, see, nobody have replied it, right? Now if I want to reply it, I'll click on reply. See, only for him the reply will go. If I go to reply to all, see, all the recipients, it will go to reply to all. And you can see automatically reply to go went to and CC, right? CC others. But in his email, if you see, right, in his email, if you see, it was only to everyone. There was no CC at all, right? It was two, right? But when I click on reply all, automatically apart from him, everyone will go into the carbon copy, you can see, right? So right, this is what the this CCN 200 BCC means. Suppose if I want to send an email to somebody, right? Now if I send this, right, I don't want to send it, right? If I want to put it as a CC or something like that, right? So blind carbon copy, it will go as a separate email without showing the emails of others in the BCC. So that is what the blind carbon copy will be having. Now, suppose if I want to forward this email, right? See here, I'm forwarding to somebody. At this time, what you have to do is you have to come to this type of response. You can see the drop down. There is something called as edit subject. Remove the forward. Remove all the contents. All the other contents. Expect the related one. Right? Right? Now, Karthik, please find the details below of the candidate for the job. Now, right? I'm sending it. Now see, I'm sending it. I sent an email, right? And I got an email, right? See here how it went. This was his first email. Now I have forwarded. This is the second email, right? Karthik got an email, right? You can see the contents has been removed and everything. So as it is sent to me only, I am able to see this content. Suppose if I send it to others, they cannot see this contents over here. So this is how you can forward it. Suppose if it is in the sent items here, right? Sent items here, how they have mentioned it. So many things in detail they have mentioned it, right? Right? I have just forwarded without any contents. It has been forwarded. So like this, you can see. I'll show you. See here, I got one profile with no subject and no subject, right? This is how I'll be getting it. No subject. See here, no subject. Right? I only sent these profiles with no subject. How they have sent it? The same way. Now let us see some more resumes, right? How we will be getting it. See, it's a serving notice period. They mention a surviving notice period, right? So, right, this is how, see, hi team, and they're mentioning only me here, okay, right? See, they know my name by using my email ID only. They know that I'm Karthik, but still they're mentioning us hi team, right? See here, the subject line, how big it is. Here also, CV1, CV2, then mention it. See here, too much of subject line, right? See here, they have sent a BCC. They have sent to others also, but they have sent it to me as a BCC. I cannot see other emails here. So this is the BCC part. This is okay, right? But the subject line is wrong. Subject line is too much here. See, hello. There is no other thing. Okay. Just mentioning a CV, right? See, if you see here, please find the resume. Here only they mention no body at all, right? So like this, if you send it, the resumes and everything, it's very difficult and they will not call you, right? So please keep the resume subject line properly. Okay, this is good practice, right? Right. Okay, everything is okay because it's in BCC. Dear HR, as mentioned. Okay, right. Now, when you are composing an email, also remember, if you are composing to email to someone regarding the resume, please mention like this: Karthik underscore software testing. Yes. Hello, Karthik, comma, greetings of the day or for the day, anything is okay. Please find attached the resume reference regards Karthik CS 91 and so clearly mention like this, then only to send it the resume. Okay, and make sure you're attaching the resume also. Right. Right. So like this also you can write it down. Like this, you can compose an email and send it. So right, and never forward the emails like this. See, I'll get it as a forward only. Right. Please change it when you're doing like that. Um, I'll show you one more resume. I'm not getting that. Fine. So like this, you have to properly do the resume naming and everything. See here, resume naming should be proper, right? It should be naming should be proper. In some resumes only we can find those. See here, profile is good. Right, okay. See what is the profile name? Same thing I mentioned here also. Right. So like this, so many mistakes, right? People will do, right? So don't worry, right? So this all the mistakes can be taken for. You can use pipeline symbol also when you're sending it the profile, right? So otherwise, most of the profiles will go to spam if you use lot of uh, see no subject. It go it has went to search like this. It will go. It may go. So please don't spam it by putting lot of symbols in the subject line, right? Coming back, right? So now this is how, right? This is how you can do. Now adding and removing the people from the subject line. Suppose you are having an person here. Now you want to add it. Reply. Now you need to add it, right? You can use this plus as a symbol. Use plus plus adding Karthik, right? You can do like this. Okay. Plus plus. If you want to add somebody, and add it and keep them in the CC. Then you can mention that. So plus plus means you are adding somebody. Suppose there are so many people and now you have added. Now see, you can see there is some attachments. Assume there is an attachment here. Let me open one resume. Right, there is an attachment. Now you want to reply, right? By you need to refer, right? So you can add somebody here who need to refer it. Whom you need to refer it for it. Now I added. Now see, I'm telling there is an attachment, but now I'll just download this. Now the same resume I'm attaching, right? Then I can send it. So that new member is added, and even a Swapnil got to know that the resume has been forwarded to this particular person. Instead of forwarding, you can do like this. Now if you want to delete somebody, right, there are two names here, right? You want to delete, you can remove him and mention it as minus minus, then you can send it, right? So this is how you can add and delete the people by mentioning it in the 2 and CC, right? So this is about all about the resume, right? To remove the member, right? To add the member, right? Like this you can do it. So please maintain the decorum, okay, when you're sending it. So this is how, so hope you understood the reply and reply all, right? So like this we'll be doing a lot of videos, right? You can look into the success stories, whatever we have done till now for the students in the community. So you can scan this and visit the page of the feedbacks what we have received. And any questions you can email us, and you can follow me in the LinkedIn page over here. So in the next session, we'll be talking about how to create the resume on for freshers as well as the experienced people on by keeping a testing as a skill set. We'll prepare it.